Oh my god, how are we doing today, everybody? Huh? How are we? Let me just ping the Discord to let them know that I'm live. How are we? Hello, Blue Lab. Hello, Ravi. Can't wait to check out Clayface. I'm so excited for Clayface. You have no idea. Mainline Productions. Hello. Or hello. Oh. Hold on, let me just, yeah. Sup, Christian? How was your weekend? Seen anything good lately? Yes! I finally saw a movie! My god! I've finally kicked myself in the ass hard enough to actually watch a movie. And I just like not even an hour ago, I finished watching Project Hail Mary. Great movie. I loved it. Like it's a pretty easy movie for me to like. And yeah, really like the movie. Also, Rocky. I love Rocky. Rocky is amazing. Are you still using Chrome? No. Opera decided to work today, so that's good. Bonjour. Bonjour. Sacre bleu. I want to see Project Hail Mary. You should. It's great. It's probably... I think it's going to get nominated for Best Picture. I mean, even if I didn't like it, I'd say it's going to get nominated for Best Picture because the reviews and box office are kind of too hard to ignore right now, but still. The formula for Clayface, moon plus sun plus everything that seems like fun, stir it all up, ra-da-da-da-da. Well, I don't know what that means. VFX-wise, I think it could probably get nominated. Do I think it's gonna win? No. I really, like, this is the one element where I'm like, I really think unless people just absolutely hate Dune, then I think Dune's still gonna win. Or hell, I wouldn't even be surprised if the Chronicles of Narnia, or not Chronicles of Narnia, if Greta Gerwig's Narnia movie is like a bigger visual effects film than this, because like it's really not. I wouldn't even be the most shocked if it didn't get nominated. I mean, it's probably going to be nominated, but it's like it wouldn't be the craziest thing to me. Okay, now I get it. You take the moon and you take the sun, you stir it all. Wait, hold on. You take everything that seems like fun, you stir it all up and then you're done. So come on in and feel free to do some looking. I don't know, but still. Okay, now I get it. Now, I wasn't expecting a random Chowder reference. Whatever happened to Lee Cronin's The Mummy? I saw a trailer for it in front of Scream 7, then nothing. To my knowledge, it did not get very good reviews. The reviews for that film were not very good, and it seems to have dropped off the face of the earth. Also, I just realized... New stream, new goals. Let's see if we can get... Ooh. Let's see if we can get the Super Chats and memberships up to date, since this might be the last stream of the last stream of the month, maybe. So I want to try to like get like, you know, some like a pretty good amount of memberships. I wouldn't discount Coma Domingo yet, but I understand if you do. Look, I think Michael's dead. I think the Michael Jackson biopic is dead in Best Picture. Its only prospects are probably only going to be makeup. because makeup's the one category where you genuinely do not need. You genuinely do not need your movie to be successful in really any regard to get an Oscar nomination for that. They really only look at the makeup itself for the most part. But really, it's just like the reviews are. Here's the thing. If Michael were to get nominated for Best Picture, it would legitimately be tied with another film to be the, like, hold on, actually, I'm gonna, you know what? It's gonna be back. It's gonna be back. Okay, I just had to adjust something. We're back. Because I need to show you guys something, alright? I need to show you guys something. Because Michael... Actually, let me go into Rotten Tomatoes real quick. Okay, so, yeah, it's looking really bad. Hold on a second. Michael! Oh, no! Michael currently sits at a 38% on Rotten Tomatoes. If it were to be nominated for Best Picture, it would tie with The Robe in being the 4th worst reviewed Best Picture nominee ever. That is how low the bar is for this. I'm sorry, it's just not happening. I just, like, and I genuinely don't think Colman Domingo or Jafar Jackson get in without this film being in Best Picture. I just don't see it happening. This film was dead for everything except probably makeup. What will Michael even get at the Oscars besides hair and makeup? Mainline production suggests maybe costumes. That's a maybe, but even then, the costume branch doesn't usually go for movies this trashed. I never bought Michael as a Best Picture film. With Fuqua at the helm, I'm surprised so many people were predicting it. That was... Same. Like, genuinely, I'm shocked that so many people thought that this was going to happen, because it's like, no, guys, no, you need to always look at the director, always look at who's directing it. I've always said Antoine Fuqua was not a good pick for a director in this series, like for this film. If they're wanting this to be an Oscar contender, and people kept telling me, well, Brett Ratner was basically, no, not Brett Ratner, what's his name? Bohemian Rhapsody director, Bryan Singer. They're like, well, he didn't get nominated. But it's like, yeah, but there was a completely different reason why that film didn't get nominated for director. And even then, people were like, well, I mean, it's obviously going to be, Lionsgate's movie. It's not going to be Antoine Fuqua's movie. But it's like, you could have said the exact same thing about James Mangold with A Complete Unknown. Everyone kept telling me, oh, well, James, there's no world where James Mangold gets nominated for director. And granted, I never predicted him to be nominated for director, but I always said that was a possibility. because like now, okay, I need to rewind. I need to backtrack. Basically, it was easy. It was easier to call something like a complete unknown because James Mangold had a really good track record as a prestige director. Antoine Fuqua has not. He has not gotten a single film nominated for Best Picture, and I don't think any of them have been close. I don't even think Training Day was close because the only 2 nominations it was getting were acting nominations. No. Hear me out. Jungle Book 2016 shouldn't have won visual effects over Doctor Strange. Jungle Book 2016 was my least favorite Disney remake. Well, for what I vehemently don't think that's true with the visual effects thing. Because, well, for one, you may not like the Jungle Book, but it objectively did have the most groundbreaking visual effects of that year. Like, it just did. They filmed on a blue soundstage, and it looked like a jungle. Like, for 10 years ago, that shit looked incredible. And yeah, Doctor Strange, like, that movie did have some very good visual effects, but it was not anywhere near of a technical leap forward as the Jungle Book was. But also, the Jungle Book is your least favorite Disney remake. It doesn't matter if it's your least favorite Disney remake, it's best visual effects, not best movie with visual effects. So, like, you can't really use your bias against the film itself to judge visual effects. Because look, I will be fair. Like, I thought Sinners was the best film of the year last year. I don't think it should have been nominated for best visual effects. That was the one nomination it got where I was like, really? Are we doing this? Visual effects? It wasn't really that technically innovative. So it's like, no, no. Jungle Book absolutely deserved its win over Doctor Strange because, again, we're talking about the best visual effects of the year, the best achievement in visual effects. Nothing like the Jungle Book had ever really been done before to that scale and with that kind of success. So, like, no. It would be interesting if Ryan Coogler directed Michael. It'd probably be way better received. Maybe Jafar Jackson gets a Golden Globe nomination and that's it. That really depends on where they place the film. I mean, because like drama, I feel like drama is just going to eat him alive. Maybe, but then again, I don't know. Maybe comedy is also very competitive. But it's like I wouldn't be so sure because the Golden Globes have been very. What's the word I'm looking for? They've been leaning very like critical acclaim type stuff recently. I mean, good God, even Daniel Day-Lewis, the GOAT himself, Daniel Day-Lewis, could not get nominated for Anemone. Now, granted, Michael is way more visible than Anemone was, but still. Is Project Hail Mary comedy or drama? I think they'll probably put it in for comedy, sort of like how they did The Martian. And then I can already see the, actually, then again, I was about to say I can already see the complaints for when people, for when Project Hail Mary wins comedy or best comedy or musical at the Golden Globes. But then again, I don't know. This is a new Globes, and also it really depends on if Wild Horse 9 is a comedy or drama, because that's the real contender right there. I honestly still don't understand why both One Battle After Another and No Other Choice went comedy instead of drama. Well, no, I could see... No, I do think they were placed there properly. Like, I do think No Other Choice it's a dark comedy for sure, but it was pretty funny. And One Battle After Another, I mean, granted, I didn't think it was very funny, but it was pretty obvious that they were leaning more comedy, so it's like... I actually do get why they were put into comedy and musical. I probably would place them under that either. What even changed in the new Golden Globes? Well, they had like a complete overhaul. It's not even owned by the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. The Hollywood Foreign Press Association does not even exist anymore. And they added hundreds of new members. So, and like, for example, in previous years, you probably could see something like, you know, like, honestly, in previous years, Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga could probably get nominated for Best Picture Comedy Musical for Joker Folie à Deux. But with the new Globes, they've gone way more towards acclaimed projects. And those movies, and that movie didn't get nominated for anything. Do you think Skydance Animation will be the next Sony Animation where they make mid stuff for a decade, then turn around and make solid stuff? Absolutely not, no. Especially knowing who owns Skydance Animation, the Ellisons, the Ellison family. I know I keep bringing up the Ellisons, but they, like, look, their whole, like, they're not really concerned about making movies good anymore, it seems. It looks like they're more concerned about making movies that are popular and don't really take any... And again, these movies don't really take any risks, these Skydance films. They're not really taking any risks, and unless somehow these get new owners, which I don't know. I mean, the Ellisons are billionaires, so... So it's like, I don't think... I don't think... Skydance is going to be in any position to be making, like, any kind of incredible films, so I'd say no. Well, John Lasseter is still the head of the company. He's a control freak, so maybe. Well, I mean, yeah, he's the head of the company, and none of their films have been any good, so it's like, I think that just goes to show that, you know, he's just, like, Skydance is just not gonna. They're just not. It's just not a good. Like, no. Why doesn't it exist anymore? How many members are even in the Golden Globes? When did this change happen? That's a lot of questions. I mean, the change happened during, like, you know, a couple of years ago, like in time for the Oppenheimer year. I don't know how many members are in the Golden Globes. It was probably around, like, again, it's probably in the hundreds. And why doesn't it exist anymore? Well, because the Hollywood Foreign Press Association was riddled with controversy. I mean, I don't need to really go into the ins and outs of how all this worked, but basically, it's just not the same. It's just not really the same as it was. So, yeah. Will you be okay with a ton of blockbusters getting into Best Picture? I mean, if they're great, and I think they're some of the best of the year, yeah. I don't really care if a movie is an indie, or if it's a blockbuster, or if it's a mid-budget film. I just want the best films of the year to get nominated. I never look at the budget. I know a lot of people will say, well, they should prop up, you know, smaller films, but it's like, I feel like their job, is to just nominate what they think is the best. If there's a film that just so happens to be really small, and it's fantastic and it deserves to get nominated, yeah, sure. But I don't think the budget of the film should be the barometer. I feel like the quality of the film should be the barometer. They just have to be great at minimum, yeah. Which sadly didn't work out this year because we got a mid-Best Picture winner. Oh, sad days ahead. Is Fruit Love Island eligible for the Oscars? I have no idea what that is. Finding Nemo is reportedly going to have a short film about Dory attached to Toy Story 5. That's exciting. Yeah, but it has Ellen DeGeneres in it still, which is not great. I don't like that they're going back and hiring problematic people like Ellen DeGeneres or Larry the Cable Guy. It's like, what are we doing, man? What are we... And also, it's... No. You're one of the few that didn't like One Battle After Another. A lot of others loved it or liked it. I never said that wasn't the case. I just said I think One Battle After Another is mid. And to me, it's a mid Best Picture winner. Why is Ellen DeGeneres and Larry the Cable Guy controversial? Well, Ellen DeGeneres was apparently, like, the reason why she doesn't have a show anymore is because apparently it came out that there were allegations of the workplace environment of the show being very racist and potentially sexist. So yeah, and Larry the Cable Guy, he's anti-vax, he's transphobic, he's just an overall shitty person in general. So that's why I don't want to see these people working. Would La La Land have won screenplay in the New Globes? I have no idea. But anyways, we gotta get into some of the stuff that I wanted to talk about today. First, let's talk about one of the trailers that released, Clayface. This movie, oh my god. When this trailer came out, I was so excited. Because, like, the trailer is so damn good. Like, my god. Like, it really is leaning into the whole body horror element. All that cool stuff. I mean, it looks incredible. I mean, my god, man, this is incredible. Clayface movie rating? Well, I mean, we don't really know what it's going to be rated, but James Gunn said they're really looking at it. They're kind of looking at getting this thing an R rating. So, yeah. I want to know, guys, what did you think of the, what did you think on, what did you think of the, Clayface, trailer? Because I thought the teaser for Clayface was unbelievably good. I thought it was unbelievable. My god, it's actually crazy. Like, this scene, oh my god, that was, oh my god. We have another Joker on our hands, where the first one was great, then the sequel, a studio meddled into production. Well, I don't think that's, well, to be fair, that was before James Gunn and Peter Safran took control of DC. So it's like, I don't think something like that is gonna happen. I will say, I am wondering if this could end up being, you know, somewhat of an Oscar player. I don't think it will. I really don't. I don't really think it's going to, especially with, yeah. Obviously, I don't think it's a ripoff of The Substance at all, because this is Clayface's origin story. But there might be a whole thing about this movie being considered too similar to The Substance. And it's a horror movie and it's a comic book movie, so that might be two things going against it, but still. What if Wicked for Good was so bad that it got Razzie noms? Well, then it would be so bad that it got Razzie noms. I don't know how else to answer that. But still, I love this. Also, I love that they got the hammer. Not the hammer, but like the mace. The giant like mace that Clayface is known for having. And him just bringing it down on someone. That, oh my god. Oh my god, it looks crazy, man. It looks crazy. I like the combo of James Watkins and Mike Flanagan as the creatives on this movie. I do too. I mean, granted, I've not seen a lot of James Watkins' movies, but Mike Flanagan co-writing the screenplay, I think that's going to be really, really cool. I think that's going to be really cool. I'm really excited for Clayface. I'm not going to lie. Ooh, it might be my most anticipated comic book movie of the year, maybe. It's really tough between that and Avengers Doomsday, because there's no way I can't be interested in seeing what's going to happen with that film. Kind of tired of Gunn bringing in C-tier level characters before Batman or Aquaman or Martian Manhunter. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Well, to be fair, I think Martian Manhunter might be like a B-tier level character. I don't know about like him being an S-tier character, but even then, it's like that. It seems like with James Gunn, he's more concerned about just. Oh, sorry. With just making good stories before trying to force in a cinematic universe, because that was the problem with previous DC. With previous DC, they tried to shove in so much, like, all at once, and everyone collectively said, hey, this is moving too fast, we need to chill out, on this. But with this new DC, it really feels like they're taking things a little bit slower. Like, hey, we're just going to tell some very good stories. They happen to be in the same universe. And here's the thing: we're gonna get Batman. We're gonna get Aquaman at some point. We're gonna get Martian Manhunter at some point. Like, we just need to be patient. Let things take their time. Let them take their time. Why B tier? Well, Martian Manhunter has not really been a significant part of any, like, film, so it's like, obviously, yeah, he was in, like, the Justice League cartoon, but other than that, but the Justice League cartoon was probably the most impactful thing he's been in, and I'm not gonna count Zack Snyder's Justice League because he was barely in that movie. So, yeah, I would not really consider Martian Manhunter to be like an A tier or S tier DC character. But still, I like, again, I'd rather get some good movies out first before, like, now granted, look, maybe I could have done things differently at DC. Like, my plans will probably be a little bit different from what James Gunn would have done, but I trust the vision. I'm going to trust the vision because so far it's been working. You know, Creature Commandos was really good. Superman was fantastic. I really liked Peacemaker Season 2. I didn't think they really stuck the landing on the ending, but it was still overall a good season. And then we got Lanterns coming out this year. Then we got Supergirl first it's Supergirl, then Lanterns, then Clayface. So it's like, as long as these are really, really good, like, let's just wait and see. Let's just wait and see what happens. What did you think of the shape-shifting and the shadow in the teaser? That was really cool. It was. That was sick. I love that. Just the classic Clayface mace. Wham! Like, that's going to be crazy. I'm excited to see how it all pans out. I just don't see the collective vision. I don't know if Gunn fully has one. Well, here's the thing. James Gunn said there's not going to be a consistent tone throughout the DC universe, because that's precisely why that's precisely what he's trying to do. He's trying to make every project feel different. Like, it's not going to be like Marvel where they all kind of feel tonally similar. He said every project's going to feel like something that the director wanted to do, which I'm really excited for. Hello, Hannah. Hey, hi, Red Spice. Hi, Red Spice. Did you see Michael yet? No, I have not. Do you think his monster form will look more fleshy or mud-like? I don't know. It's probably going to be some marriage of the two. Like, it's going to be, like... I think it's probably going to look kind of fleshy, like this. I think it's... Because, like, you know, let's face it, it's still somewhat similar to like a clay kind of color, even though clay, you know, could really be colored like anything. But, yeah. I think Clayface does look intriguing, doesn't it? It does! Reminds me of Sam Raimi horror. Yeah, I would agree. Like, this, like, I'm really, really excited for Clayface. Genuine. Oh my god, like I said, just look at this poster. That is freaky. That is a freaky poster. Oops, I forgot to put up the, yeah, there. By the way, since this might be the last stream, this might be the last stream of the month, which means, you know, which is probably some of the last, like one of the last times we're going to be able to get like super chats and memberships before the end of the month, which is when, you know, because that's how the kind of the YouTube payment system works. So hopefully we can hit the goals today. But yeah. Yeah, I'm so excited for Clayface. It looks so different, and again, if this works, we're gonna get so much cool stuff out of DC. My god. Do you think Clayface will do big at the box office? I think it's gonna do pretty well. I don't think it's gonna make like $400 million, unless the word of mouth is that incredible. But like, the budget, from what I understand, should be somewhat low. Sources, okay, so it seems like sources have said that it's probably around like around $40-ish million. So all it really needs is to make like 3 times that, like, which then it's gonna be successful. Oh my god, Red Spice with the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Red Spice. Thanks, Red Spice. Thanks, Red Spice. Everyone, give Red Spice some blue Hannahcast emojis, some blue Hannahcast heart emojis in chat. Hold on, let me, oh man, hold on. This thing's not loading fast enough. Everyone, if you're a member of the channel, give Red Spice some blue Hannahcast heart emojis while this thing is loading. Maybe while it's loading, I'm gonna read who got memberships. I3 got a membership. MTV Europe Deepfakes got a membership. The Item Crew, AJ, got a membership. Nick Das got a membership. And Mac and Cheese, or Mason Cheese, got a membership. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Red Spice. Thanks, Red Spice. Oh my god. Oh yeah, there we go. The blue Hannahcast heart emojis. God, this thing is taking forever to do. Even my, damn it, even my, hold on. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. Do you have any predictions on what you think will be the biggest summer movie box office wise this year? Ooh, the biggest summer movie. That's gonna be tough. Actually, no. Spider-Man. It's gonna be Spider-Man. Spider-Man's gonna be the biggest film of the summer. I mean, good God, Spider-Man just makes so much damn money. I'm torn between Spidey and Toy Story 5. I think it's gonna be Spidey. I think it's gonna be Spider-Man. Especially since it's been, like, especially since people have been really craving, what's been happening with Spider-Man this whole time. I do think Toy Story 5 is going to make a lot of money. I do think it's going to make a lot of money. But yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. Minions. I don't know. I don't know if Minions is gonna make more money than Spider-Man. If I'm not mistaken, haven't like people been going to see the Despicable Me franchise less and less? So I don't know. I think Toy Story is very dependable with kiddos, and it's like 3 generations of fans now. I mean, yeah. Hold on. Let me look and I need to look and see how much money. So let's see. Let's take a look at this. Okay, wait. Okay. Oh, wow. So Spider-Man Far From Home made a significant amount of money more than Toy Story 4. So I'm going to... Yeah, so, okay. So, and that was Far From Home. I think Brand New Day is going to... Yeah, I think Brand New Day is going to make more money. I think it's going to make more money than Toy Story. Yeah, I'm a channel member. Yeah, you can thank Red Spice for that. Thank Red Spice. Fandango did a poll of the most anticipated movie of the summer with 7,000 people involved. Toy Story 5 is number 1. Spidey is number 2 in the poll. I mean, sure, but again, we'll just have to see what the box office says. But yeah, that's my, and granted, that's my thoughts on Clayface. I think Clayface looks really cool. My God, looks so cool. But now, let's talk about another film. No, not a film, a series. Because the new trailer for Spider-Noir was released. And oh my God, this looks insane. This looks insanely good. Like, the new trailer released, and there was looks at characters like Tombstone, Sandman. I thought someone was going to be Electro, but I guess it's not Electro. But oh my God, I love the style of this thing. Oh my, and my God, just look at the cinematography here. Like the black and white, look compared to the color version. There's no way I am not watching this in black and white. Like, I am going to watch this in black and white. It looks fantastic. Oh my, like, look at this, man. Look at this. That's just stupid cool. Like, how do they actually get this to even exist? When do you think it will be? I'm sad no announcement for Five Nights at Freddy's 3. When do you think it will be? I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really the best person to ask about Five Nights at Freddy's because I'm not a big fan of the Five Nights at Freddy's movies. Fast 11 coming to you in the year 2999. Oh. Yeah. Man. I don't know if I don't know when we're gonna get that new Fast and Furious movie. I'm not really that excited, but still. The placement of these emojis implies something. It implies something, Andrew. I think we all know what that I think we all know what that implies that I'm doing. Damn. But still, I want to know, what are you guys thinking about Spider-Noir? I'm really excited for it. This just looks so cool, so unique for a Spider-Man series, or just a superhero series in general. Get punked. I mean, no disrespect. No, I will take the disrespect. I'm being disrespected. I don't know. Project Hail Mary might become the 6th film to get a Best Director nod with more than one director, and Lord Miller would be the 5th directing team to get a nod. I don't know if it will get a directing nomination though, because again, it's still a big blockbuster and the director's branch doesn't really like blockbusters. Yes, Ryan Coogler got in for Sinners, but Sinners would have absolutely won Best Picture if One Battle After Another was not around. What if One Battle After Another vanished to pieces? Oh, I'd love that. I'd love that. Then we could have Sinners win Best Picture. We'd be in a much better place in our country right now if Sinners won Best Picture. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Oops, I forgot. I need to update the goal. There we go. We are now halfway there to the membership goal today. I can actually see Lord Miller getting the same nods and snubs as Barbie. Critics' Choice, Golden Globe, DGA. But no BAFTA means no Oscar. Probably. Even better, Anora vanishes into pieces and Anora's month ends this Thursday. Hooray! Man, imagine a year where Conclave won Best Picture, and then the next year Sinners won Best Picture. That'd be so cool. Okay, I know what's going on here. But for some reason, I know that you're saying Anora Noir, but for some reason, it's auto translating, and it thinks that, and it's just translated to Black Anora. Oh, I didn't know. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I actually did not know this thing would do automatic translation, because noir is obviously French for black, but it just assumes you're talking about Anora being black I don't know. It just says Black Anora. That's crazy. That's crazy. What else would you be okay winning Best Picture other than Sinners? Okay. If Hamnet won Best Picture, alright, I'd be content with that. Frankenstein, I would really like that if, like, you know, in a world where Sinners couldn't win Best Picture, Frankenstein would actually be number 2 in my vote. I mean, really, there's a lot of great films that I think could have been nominated, that I think could have won. Like, I'd be fine if Marty Supreme won Best Picture, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be as content with that winning over Sinners, but still. I think overall, the ones I feel like I'll be like the most chill with would be like Frankenstein and Hamnet. I guess those would be the ones. You had One Battle After Another lower than F1. Yep, I did, because F1 is a 7 out of 10, whereas One Battle After Another is a 5 out of 10. So yeah, I do think F1 is a better movie than One Battle After Another. Hamnet was phenomenal. I don't know what I don't know what Hamnet is, but I do really love Hamnet. Half good, half bad. Wow, that's what mid means. That's what a movie being mid means. It means, you know, it's middle of the road. It's funny because Gerwig can actually get a BAFTA nom this year because of the 5-boy, 5-girl rule. Perhaps, unless there's like some sort of British indie that they gravitate towards. Which overpowers in your opinion? Half good or half bad or equal? I mean, it doesn't really matter because it's still very middle of the road. If the bad elements and the good elements are about equal with one another, then it's still just a mid movie. No, they don't really, you know, overpower one another. That's what being mid means. I was not a fan of The Secret Agent. It was just an accident. Should have gotten in over The Secret Agent. I mean, I think I do really like The Secret Agent. Would I put Accident in above Secret Agent? Yes, I would. But I would honestly have it was just an accident above most of the movies nominated for Best Picture. Let's see. Northern Choice probably could have won if it didn't fall off a cliff. I genuinely don't know how Northern Choice did pretty well early on, and yet ended up getting nothing. That was just insulting. That was ridiculous. It was just an accident, which was an amazing movie. It was number 4 of last year. It was probably up there for me. I don't know exactly where, but still. What's a director-actor combo that you'd like to see that hasn't happened yet? I'm not gonna lie, I'd be very curious to see what Christopher Nolan and Jim Carrey would do together. Because funny enough, that was going to be a thing. Because I think like Christopher Nolan and Jim Carrey were writing a Howard Hughes biopic in the for a while in the early 2000s, but then they just kind of stopped doing it once Martin Scorsese started making The Aviator. But the idea of Jim Carrey in a Christopher Nolan movie, a biopic nonetheless, that's how you get Jim Carrey an Oscar. That is how you get Jim Carrey an Oscar. That pairing, it sounds crazy, but I like that idea. Jim can be great in serious stuff too. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. He should have won for Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I'm not gonna lie. He was very good in the movie. But Jamie Foxx was pretty spectacular in Ray. I'm gonna be completely real. I thought, like, when I finally watched the movie Ray, the movie about, you know, the biopic about Ray Charles, I was like, oh, wait, no, okay, Jamie Foxx deserved this. Yeah, he's actually really fucking great. I also thought Jim Carrey was really great in... You know, The Truman Show, Men on the Moon. Nobody ever really wants to say it, but I thought he was unbelievably good in How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Like, obviously, yeah, there's a lot of makeup, but he doesn't even really, like, his voice doesn't sound like Jim Carrey, and yeah, he's doing the Jim Carrey mannerisms, but it doesn't feel like I'm watching Jim Carrey half the time. Or not even half the time. It's like, I just have to keep reminding myself, oh yeah, that's Jim Carrey. Like, his performance in How the Grinch Stole Christmas was genuinely phenomenal. Do you think the Hunger Games prequel will get anything? Previous ones haven't, but maybe it'll break the mold? Nah, I don't think so. I think the Hunger Games movies are just kind of never going to get any Oscar nominations. Roderick was in Oppenheimer, then he was in War of the Worlds. Wait, Devin Bostic was in the Ice Cube War of the Worlds movie? Whoa. Oh yeah, Spectacular and the Grinch. Generational talent. Exactly, definitely. Again, I would love to see him in a Christopher Nolan movie. No Other Choice is my favorite film of last year. It was my second favorite film of that year. If there's a modern actor that could translate well to the silent era of cinema, it's Jim Carrey. Underrated dramatic chops. He really could. Oh my god. Imagine if he was in like a modern, like, silent film like The Artist. That would be cool. Also, I might as well, like, you know, I guess move on to the next news subject. Here's something that's a little bit scary to me. Letterboxd is looking... it seems like Letterboxd is exploring a sale of the controlling stake in the company. Now, what does this mean? Well, each person that is a shareholder in Letterboxd, and there is someone who has a controlling stake in Letterboxd. Basically, they have a lot of money in it, and they own a majority of the company, and that's looking to be sold off. So I hope this doesn't mean we get like someone really bad to buy it. I hope to God it's not another billionaire. We don't need more billionaires buying everything. Why sell Letterboxd? I don't know. But yeah, I am a little bit concerned. I am quite a bit concerned. Again, because we already know where the billionaire oligarchs, go when it comes to buying stuff like this. I'm just worried. Real life game of Monopoly. It really is. It really is. If they want to control others, say. Exactly. God, imagine the worst case scenario. Like, here's a little bit of a worst case scenario just to put in you guys' heads. What if the Ellisons bought Letterboxd? Oh my god, that would be a nightmare. That would be like such a big nightmare. What if Donald Trump bought Letterboxd? Well, if the Ellisons bought Letterboxd, that would practically be the case. But yeah, I would not like that. I mean, I can't imagine why Trump would ever, like, care about Letterboxd. But, like, I don't know. He's, like, he might be, like, I don't know. It's just scary to think about. Again, I'm hoping it's just, like, whoever buys Letterboxd, you know, hopefully whoever buys it is not some billionaire oligarch. I'm just scared right now. I kind of wouldn't be surprised if I'm being honest. It seems like every big company needs a huge billionaire CEO nowadays, or am I wrong? They don't need it. They just want, like, here's the thing. It's not a matter of need. It's a matter of these billionaires wanting everything. It's a matter of these billionaires, you know, just wanting everything that they can get. And again, it's a matter of control. And that scares me. It scares me that so many of these billionaires have so much control over what we see and do. Like again, that's what an oligarchy is. Headed out, Christian. Thanks for the stream. Take care. Bye, Green Paradise. Bye, AJ. Bye, AJ. Everyone say bye to AJ with the little Hannahcast emojis. Bye, AJ. Bye. Vince McMahon buys Letterboxd. Oh my God, kill me. Oh no. Can someone explain to me how the latest Guy Ritchie film, co-produced by David Ellison, received no marketing? I have not even heard of it, so maybe that's the reason. Vince McMahon, who's Vince McMahon? Isn't he like the former owner of WWE? I don't think he owns WWE anymore. I don't watch WWE, but I think he was like the former owner of WWE. And he's known to not really be a very good person. And if I'm not mistaken, I think his wife is the head of the Department of Education, which makes no sense whatsoever. Ugh. But yeah, I'm not really looking forward to this. I'm not really looking forward to this thing going on. No. On a lighter note, do you have any favorite Nickelodeon shows? Oh yeah, I do. I think, well, obviously the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob are peak. It really is peak animation, or like peak, cartoons. It's just like, oh my God, it's so funny. It's so well written. I love it a lot. Fairly Odd Parents was funny for a while, but that kind of dipped. I really liked Jimmy Neutron. I remember really liking Jimmy Neutron. Invaders. To be honest, I really remember what I have seen from, like, I have seen a few episodes of Invader Zim. I liked how really messed up and twisted it was. So there is Invader Zim. Yeah, I remember there was also some Nick Jr. shows that I remember watching as a kid. I was like, ooh. The best crossover is the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour. It really was. The Jimmy Timmy Power Hour was so cool. I love the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour. Oh, also, I put up the goal for the super chats. So hopefully we can hit 5 super chats, and we only need 5 more memberships to hit the goal for today. So that'll be good. I heard that the later seasons of SpongeBob are bad and childish. I don't know if I'd say childish. I just think they're just not very good. So I'd probably say that. Oh yeah, apparently, did you guys see that this is a thing? That this is going to be a thing. Apparently, a Django Zorro crossover film is in the works. Quentin Tarantino will not direct the film, but has given Sony his blessing to develop it. So we're getting a Django sequel and a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel. And Tarantino's like, I don't want to direct them, but you can make them. I wonder if this just means we're going to get more like Tarantino sequels and stuff. Were you a fan of the TMNT cartoons? I never really watched TMNT that much. I watched a little bit of the CGI series from Nickelodeon. I thought that was cool, but then they started going into space and it started getting real weird. I was like, what is happening right now? So it's like, it kind of fell off, but you know, yeah. But yeah, I guess they are doing a Django Zorro crossover film, which I don't know. Again, I don't know if it's going to work out as well without the without the Tarantino screenplay. But I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I would how they are doing this. I'm not really sure what you mean there, but yeah. I believe this is a graphic novel or something like that. I mean, yeah, they did make a graphic novel crossover, but apparently Sony is wanting to make a movie out of it. Or I don't know about out of it, but like they're wanting to make a Zorro Django crossover. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel? Yeah, The Adventures of Cliff Booth. Like they're making that movie, and it's going to be on Netflix later this year. I wonder how they're going to do the crossover. I'm not sure. We'll have to see how everything goes, but it's rather curious. It's rather curious. Anybody have any other thoughts? Anybody have any thoughts on the Django thing? The Django Zorro crossover? Were you a fan of the first movie? Django Unchained? Yeah, that is Django Unchained is my favorite Quentin Tarantino film. I love Django Unchained. Oh my god, it's so I think it's really well written. It can be really funny, but it's also really damn like intense. Like Leonardo DiCaprio, I mean, he's just like stealing the show. He's great as always. And like it is just a roaring good time. I've heard this this being talked about when it comes to Django Unchained, and I think it's actually something I never really quite considered. It's a movie that really makes you think about what awful things would you do to save someone you love? Because like in the movie, you know, Django has to pretend that he's a slave owner, and it's just like it's crossing like a very big moral ground for him. So it's just kind of like, you know, but he has to play up that act in order to save his wife. So it's like really, really, it's a really thought-provoking kind of film that it's just like, yeah. Wait, so is Jamie Foxx returning? I don't know. This is all we know today, is that Sony is trying to get a Django Zorro movie to be made. I don't even know if Antonio Banderas is going to be returning, because if you remember, there was like, Antonio Banderas was in the was Zorro in some previous films, but I don't know if that would even happen with him in it, so I don't know. Oh, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Oh, that's what you meant by if I was a fan of it. I really like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I do feel like Sharon Tate ended up being a character that really didn't need to be in the movie. I wasn't so sure why she had as much screen time as she had, if she didn't really have much of an impact on the plot other than, like, just kind of ogling at how pretty Margot Robbie is, which again, I mean, obviously she is, but I don't know, it felt a little bit weird, given how the character of Sharon Tate was only resorted to being like, an wooga, like a sex object, when this was a real woman who was murdered, and this movie is tied into the Manson murders a bit, or Charles Manson, I should say. I don't know, that felt a little weird to me, so yeah. My favorite Tarantino film is The Hateful Eight. The Hateful Eight's underrated. I don't know why people shit on The Hateful Eight. It's really good. As much as I love Christoph Waltz, I still don't understand how he won that second Oscar. I mean, yeah, like, looking back on it, it's like, wait, really? Like, he won for that when Leonardo DiCaprio is doing way more impressive stuff with his performance? I don't know. I didn't feel like he needed to win Best Support. I don't feel like Christoph Waltz needed to win Best Supporting Actor for that. That should have been DiCaprio. And the fact that DiCaprio wasn't even nominated is insane. This reminds me of the Men in Black 23 Jump Street crossover, or 21 Jump Street crossover. Yeah, I don't know how that would have worked. I know people are going like, what? Like, maybe it could have worked. I'm just like, but how though? How does Men in Black and 21 Jump, like, how do you take these two movies and cross them over? At least with Zorro and Django, like, alright, it is very different, but you could see how they might exist in the same universe. But, like, I don't know. Men in Black and 21 Jump Street, I'm not going to act like it's, like, the most realistic film, but it's, like, it's way more grounded in reality than something like Men in Black, which is just full-on science fiction. Like, I don't know if that would actually work. Have you heard of Linux and tried it? I've heard of Linux, I have not tried it. What would be the weirdest crossover movie that you could think of? Well, I guess, I mean, if we're gonna, like, the weirdest crossover movie. Alright, well, I'm just gonna take the most extreme of one thing and, like, the most pleasant thing and put it in with the most disturbing thing. I guess, like, what was it? Like, you take Winnie the Pooh and put him and cross him over with, like, with 12 Years a Slave. I guess that would be the crazy. That would be the weirdest crossover. I don't know if that would work, but, like, 12 Years a Slave and Winnie the Pooh. I guess, like, that would be really, really weird if they did that. Have you also ever heard of Go Animate? Blue Lad, I'm very well aware of Go Animate. Like, I'm very well, yeah, I used to make Go Animate little stuff, but but obviously I don't anymore. Winnie the horror film. I mean, well, we already have that. But, yeah, like, I guess we technically already have that, but it's not really a crossover, it's just someone adapting Winnie the Pooh into horror. What else is there? Oh, I'm a little bit sad by this. James Gunn says that the Authority film isn't happening anytime soon. It didn't work in terms of the larger DCU, both in terms of the story and practical concerns. Maybe someday, but not soon. So they pretty much like shelved the Authority. Which I will say, I'm not sure why they announced this was going to be a thing. If they weren't confident that they could get like a good script out of it, I'm not sure. They removed the LVM back in 2019. You now have to use Wrapper Online to continue using the LVM, Comedy World, Little Peeps, etc. Oh. But also, like, the funny thing is the engineer character in Superman, she is a member of the Authority. So, like, the fact that, like, I guess her character kind of meant nothing in the grand scheme of things. It's like, because I guess they're not going to be doing the Authority movie, at least not right now. Is just like, huh. But I am really surprised at but I think maybe this is an example of something that James Gunn could probably make work if he were writing and directing it. But I feel like no one else really got the idea. It's like the Authority just kind of really sounded like yeah, this is like a James Gunn thing to do. It really is. But if he wasn't going to write it or direct it, I guess this thing was just probably never going to work out. Or at least it just doesn't sound like it would ever work out, I guess. I want that Swamp Thing movie. Oh yeah, Swamp Thing. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Swamp Thing. Especially if it is going to be directed by James Mangold. Also, I made this a few days ago. Which is which is just kind of like a look at the DCU. Actually, I'm probably gonna make this a little bit smaller. Alright, yeah. Alright, this should make things look a little bit better. Yeah, I made this, which is basically kind of looking at the DCU. Granted, I guess I might need to take the Authority out, but this is basically kind of what the universe is kind of looking right now. I don't know if Chapter 1 is really going to stay Chapter 1 or whatnot, because Chapter 1 is supposed to be like Gods and Monsters. So we'll have to see, but like, I am kind of interested to see where the DCU goes. If anyone has any questions about some of this, then let me know. Did you read that Shrek is coming back to theaters next month for its 20th anniversary? I know you don't like Shrek, but still. Yeah, oh yeah, 25th anniversary. Yeah, that checks out. It checks out that they would do that. Yeah, but yeah, I don't really care for Shrek, so it's not something I'm gonna go see. I'm not gonna go see it, but yeah. How come you don't like Shrek? Because I don't think there's anything really to like in the... There's barely anything in the movie to like. You know? I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's really all that clever. It's just... I just don't think it's very good. Can't wait for Mr. Miracle. I'm curious as to how Mr. Miracle is going to turn out. I put that further along because that's kind of like, you know, much further in production, I think. But, like, I don't know how it's going to turn out. Because, like... We'll have to see. It's like an animated thing, but like, I just don't know. It's probably one of the it's probably one of like the DC projects I'm least looking forward to, because it's like, I don't know, especially like, I don't know, it just seems very random, and it's not something random enough, like, at least with the Authority, it's something so weird and crazy that I'm like, okay, I'm willing to hear this out. But Mr. Miracle, it's like, so we're just kind of focusing on one of the new gods, but we're also not really doing anything with the with Darkseid, not in the grand scheme of things. So I don't know how to feel about this. The hype is that Mr. Miracle has Darkseid. He was cast and is about depression and stuff. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. But James Gunn has also said that Darkseid's not going to be like the big bad of the DCU. Like, if this was a New Gods movie, like if this is something regarding the New Gods, alright, I'd be a little bit interested. But it's like Mr. Miracle, just specifically Mr. Miracle. Like, I don't know. But again, it's also, again, Darkseid's not going to be like the big bad. So it's just kind of like, eh. I would like for James Gunn to do an Injustice movie in the next 10 years. I don't think he's ever going to do that. I don't think he's ever going to do Injustice. Because, well, for one, Zack Snyder was already going to try to do Injustice. But it was very clear that nobody really wanted that as a movie. Like, no one really wanted that. So it's like, I feel like whatever the DCU plan's gonna be, it's gonna be something revolving around, oh man, what is that, like, what's that one place that Peacemaker was put into? I don't know. I don't know. Whatever that, like, whatever that, like, other dimension kind of thing that Peacemaker's in, and it feels like that's where they're kind of going, it feels like that's where they're going with the DCU, I think. Not overall the big bad, doesn't mean he does nothing, like, be like, okay, wait, not the overall big bad doesn't mean he does nothing. He can be like Doctor Doom for the DCU, where he stays but doesn't die. Again, I don't know, but also it's like Darkseid is kind of the be-all or end-all when it comes to the DCU villains, or at least like one of them. So I don't know. Savage Land? Is it Savage Land? No, Salvation. That's what, Salvation. Okay, it wasn't Savage Land, it was Salvation. I think that's where the DCU is going with this. Blue Lab. I'm gonna head out, Christian, so bye. Bye, Blue Lab. Bye. Bye, Blue Lab. But yeah. Like I said, guys, I'm hoping we can reach the membership goal today. Just 5 more memberships. And again, if you want to become a member, please, like, you know, for $2 a month, you get members only badges, emojis, members only videos, your name included at the end of my videos, members only live chats, members only Discord server, which again, if you want to be really notified of when I go live, please join the Discord. Please join the Discord, and you know, and by becoming a member, you won't regret it. It really helps. So yeah. To me, the big bad can also be Raven's dad and Brainiac. Okay, well, they're already gonna do Brainiac for Man of Tomorrow, but however, Trigon I think does make sense. I think Trigon, honestly, like, he would have to be honestly, I feel like he could be the ultimate bad guy, even more so than Darkseid. Because then you got the Teen Titans involved, everyone's gotta stop, Trigon. And Trigon is canonically as powerful, if not more powerful than Darkseid, so it's like, I don't know why more people don't take the idea of making Trigon a Justice League level threat. Like, he genuinely could be. Also, thank you, Movie Guy, for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. Everybody, put blue Hannahcast heart emojis in chat if you're a member. And to give Movie Guy some love. Thanks, Movie Guy. Thanks. Thanks, Movie Guy. Who got some? Cosmo Gabby fan got a membership. Rochelle Jeremiah's TV got a membership. Not the Demon got a membership. Gaming got a membership. And Kevin Lang got a membership. Thanks, Movie Guy. Thanks. And now we have actually hit the membership goal. Thank you guys so much. But yeah, I genuinely do feel like Trigon could be a Justice League level threat. Because I feel like the potential is like right there. It's just no one's really had that idea. I don't know why. I don't know why no one's thought of that before, but I think that would be a really cool idea. And I feel like there's even more of an emotional hook in there with Trigon because of his connection with Raven. Like, because, like, you know, I feel like because Darkseid, I don't know if he has much of a connection to really anybody, really. But with Trigon being Raven's dad, I mean, there's a little bit more of an emotional hook there, to be honest. Hello, Leo Tennyson. Hi, Leo Tennyson. We're just talking about some movie news and stuff, and I guess right now we're just kind of talking about where the DCU is going. I need to take out the Authority because that's kind of being shelved, so we'll have to see. Letterboxd being sold. Yeah, we went back, yeah, that was a while ago, because, like, because, like, Letterboxd is exploring the possibility of selling a controlling stake of their company. So that, and hopefully it's not a billionaire oligarch. Is that list confirmed? Well, okay. The stuff where that, okay, let's see. Out of the stuff that's already been released. Creature Commandos, Superman, Peacemaker, those have been released. Supergirl is coming out this year. Lanterns is coming out this year. Clayface is coming out this year. Man of Tomorrow is coming out next year. Everything else, we don't really know when they're coming out. Mr. Miracle and Creature Commandos Season 2, I think, are in production right now, so they could come out next year. Blue Beetle, I feel like they're going to be doing like a Blue Beetle animated series. I don't know where that is in production. The rest of these, like I said, we don't really know what stage of production they're in. Wonder Woman, the only thing we really know about Wonder Woman is that James Gunn said, yeah, they're working on a Wonder Woman movie, but that's kind of about it. We don't know anything else about it. Other than, like, I think Christina Hodgson is writing the screenplay. I hope I got that name right. Maybe I got that name wrong completely. I don't know. Brave and the Bold has been announced, and it does have a director attached, Andy Muschietti, but I genuinely don't know when that thing is coming out. Because when Brave and the Bold is coming out, because he's kind of stuck doing the Welcome to Derry series, and it's like he's going to be doing season 2, which is going to push back Brave and the Bold even further. So it's like, I genuinely don't know. Like, I don't know. If it were me, I probably would just not have Andy Muschietti direct, because you gotta build out this universe, and you can't do it without Batman. But you gotta have a Batman movie come out at some point, like, sometime before the decade ends, I feel. So yeah. Booster Gold is a series that was announced, and apparently it's moving along in production, so yeah. Swamp Thing, all we know about Swamp Thing is that James Mangold is looking to direct, and that's going to be like a horror movie, but there's the thing standing in that film's way is, again, he has other projects, so they're just kind of waiting on him to finish those. The Authority, that's one that I should probably take out, because that's kind of been shelved. They're not really going to be working on that. Paradise Lost is apparently in is apparently very strong in pre-production. So they could start production at some point pretty soon. The Deathstroke and Bane movie, I don't think it's, from what I understand, it's not going to be like Deathstroke and Bane necessarily, but like those are the two big characters in the film. So I'm not sure what that's going to be, but again, I'm interested. Waller, again, not much has been known about Waller. Teen Titans, all that we know about the Teen Titans movie is that it was going to be written by, like the writer of the Wonder Woman movie was writing it, but then they moved her to do Wonder Woman and put her focus on that. So it looks like we're going to be getting a Teen Titans film at some point, but not for a little bit, which I'm not going to lie, I feel like, as much as I would really love a Teen Titans movie, I feel like we need to really establish the universe before we do Teen Titans. Like, that's just me. DC Crime, again, that's probably not going to be the actual title of the show, but it's like the Jimmy Olsen series that they're working on. And then Sergeant Rock is a little bit in production hell right now, because they did have Luca Guadagnino, but then he stepped back. He's not doing it, so it's kind of tough. But yeah, this is basically where we're looking at the DCU right now. I could see Teen Titans a little closer, maybe, but it's also just like, we don't even have Brave and the Bold yet, and that's going to have Robin. But then again, Dick Grayson could be Robin in Teen Titans, or he's going to be Nightwing, but I don't know, I kind of feel like he needs to be Robin first before being Nightwing in Teen Titans. And also, he wouldn't even be a teenager at that point. I don't know what they're going to do with Teen Titans. That's one thing I'm kind of wondering. It's like, I don't really know what they're going to do with Teen Titans. All I hope is that I look, this is kind of selfish of me, but I do hope it's the cartoon lineup. Like, I know some people are going to be saying, well, what about Wonder Girl? What about Kid Flash? I don't really care if they're in Teen Titans, if they're in the lineup, because they're kind of already derivative of other superheroes, and, like, Robin is still kind of his own thing, I guess. But, like, I don't know if I really need Wonder Girl and Kid Flash. Plus, Kid Flash would just be way too OP, because he's basically just the Flash. I don't know. I'm not really too interested in the speedsters that much. I like the cartoon lineup. They just complement each other so perfectly. You know what I mean? And it takes too long on projects. I know art is important in getting his full vision, but he needs a little rush. Yeah. Now that's my one issue with Andy Muschietti. It's like, I don't know. Like because like a lot of people are like, oh, but he directed The Flash, so that movie's bad. Like. Look, was The Flash all that great? No. But I don't really blame anyone for how much of a mess that film turned out to be. Because that was a studio hack job if I ever saw one. Like, that was... Like, you could just tell where the studio notes were coming in. And that it was going through multiple... like layers of bureaucracy. It came out 9 years after it was announced. It's just like, it's just not worth it. I don't think it's just, I just don't blame Andy Muschietti for how the Flash turned out. The main issue is, yeah, it's like we need to get a Batman movie out pretty soon, and I get it, you don't want to have it come out the same year as the Batman Part 2, but it's like, I don't know, like, we kind of need Batman in this universe before we try to do whenever you try to do a Justice League movie, we need to get that Trinity set up, because those are the three foundational characters, and, yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't mind, like, something like Clayface coming out first or whatever, because, again, they're still trying to build up the DCU, but, again, it's like, we probably needed that, I think we need the Brave and the Bold to come out before the decade ends, you know what I mean? I think Brave and the Bold is gonna never... I think the Brave and the Bold is gonna never the deciding factor if the DCU continues or doesn't go on that big. I'm not sure what's being said there. I'm sorry, Leo. I think if they ever use the cartoon cast and Gen 2 has multiple versions, remember Crush was in it too? Who's Crush? What? I think the Brave and the Bold is gonna be the deciding factor if the DCU continues or if it doesn't go on that long. Maybe. We'll have to see. Isn't the Dynamic Duo coming? Dynamic Duo, from what I understand, is not part of the DCU. That is Elseworlds. That is an Elseworlds film. Raven and Beast Boy was also in Gen 2 because the H thing works different for them. I get what you're saying now with like the cartoon cast. But you know, I feel like, I don't know, Robin, Starfire, Cyborg, Beast Boy, Raven, that's just the best lineup they got. I feel like that's just their best lineup. It's just like all of them are like all their powers are so different. They don't really have the same powers as, you know, the other superheroes. Not really. Like, that's why I don't really want Wonder Girl or Kid Flash in there, because it's just Wonder Woman and Flash. Robin is a little bit different because, I mean, yeah, he does have, he is experienced in martial arts like Batman, but he does have a very distinct vibe about him, and he also, and plus it's just like regular kind of combat and whatnot. Whereas all the others, I mean, no one's really like Beast Boy, no one's really like Raven, no one's really like Cyborg, and no one's really like Starfire. So it's just kind of like, I don't know, I kind of do want them to go with the cartoon cast, you know what I mean? Crush is Lobo's daughter. Oh, I've never heard of Crush. Let's check and see like what other pieces of movie news has been popping up. I guess there's not a bunch of other news going on right now. Hello? What's anyone? Anyone there? Oh, wait. What was the last movie you watched? Project Hail Mary. I finally watched Project Hail Mary. And I gotta say, if you know what I mean. But yeah, no, like, Project Hail Mary was great. Like, I really loved Project Hail Mary. I love Rocky. Rocky was adorable. I love that little goober. I love him. He's a lot of fun. Very funny movie, very touching movie. Again, just really enjoyed it. I was really enjoying the film. Do you think Doomsday can get the MCU back on track? Maybe? Maybe? But I don't know, like, Doomsday's really, I think Doomsday is gonna either make or break the multiverse, like, I don't, okay, maybe not make or break the multiverse saga, but I don't know. If this works, if Doomsday works, then I'm like, oh wow, okay, we're probably heading for something really okay. Yeah, but if it doesn't work, yikes, yikes. Oh no. So, how many Oscar noms will it get? Oh, Project Hail Mary. What was I predict? Let me look at what I'm predicting it for. Let me look on Award Expert. I'm predicting Project Hail Mary for 10 Oscar nominations. I have it predicted for... I'm predicting it for Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Cinematography, Best Editing, Best Production Design, Best Costume Design, Best Visual Effects, Best Sound, Best Score. Those are what I'm kind of predicting for Project Hail Mary right now. Project Hail Mary for Production Design. I do think it's going to get nominated for that, yeah. It's weird to get an MCU movie without build-up. I mean, yeah, like, I don't. That's kind of my main worry about Doomsday. It's like with Thanos, everything felt so well built up with him. But with but for Doctor Doom, it's like, because the original plan was with Kang, but then Jonathan Majors got in some hot water. Then he was removed from Marvel, which makes sense. But instead of recasting Kang, they went for Doctor Doom, and we've never seen Doctor Doom up until now. I don't know. It doesn't feel cohesive. They should have stuck to their plan with Kang. I mean, hell, I think ultimately what made Marvel fail this decade in the 2020s was putting out so much content in such a short amount of time. It was like genuinely crazy. It's like, guys, chill out with this, man. Like, you gotta chill out with it. They did not have a single Avengers film before Doomsday. Like, they could have done Secret Invasion and made that an Avengers film, but they didn't do that. I don't know. We'll have to see how everything works. We'll have to see how everything works, but I don't know. If Doomsday doesn't make any money, and then they paid him $100 million for no reason. Yeah, $100 million for an actor is fucking crazy. Like, come on. No one needs a $100 million. No actor needs $100 million for a paycheck. Like, that's just ridiculous. I agree they should have recast Kang. Exactly. I really love the Ironheart series. I've seen the first couple of episodes. I liked it. I liked it. The MCU is just very the MCU just feels very disjointed. It all feels like one-offs. They feel like one-offs, and they're also just hit or miss in quality, because not like a lot of them are just not even that great. Like Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was not that good. I didn't think Black Widow was all that good. Like Secret Invasion, the TV series, was ridiculous. It's just Apparently, the puppeteer voice actor for Rocky is eligible for BAFTA, SAG, and Oscar, but not the Globes. What do you think of that? That's interesting. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I don't think he's actually going to get nominated, but I don't know. That's fun. Can't wait for X-Men. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with the X-Men. I mean, hopefully they get everything back on track and they have a full, solid plan. And they don't and they don't make like 9 projects a year. Again, that's just... I love Shang-Chi. We needed a sequel. No, I agree. Shang-Chi really, like, the fact that they just not really established him as, yes, he is an Avenger, or we just never had a follow-up on him up until now is ridiculous. It's like, they should have set up their Avengers. It's just like, I wanted the Midnight Suns and Blade. They made Mahershala Ali wait for years for no reason. I mean, yeah. Now look, I do plan on making a video on what I would do with how I would fix the MCU multiverse saga. And yeah, I do actually have Blade waiting out for many years, but the thing is, I wouldn't announce it in 2019 at Comic-Con. Because admittedly, yeah, there is a lot of stuff that you have to try to, like, Frankenstein in there, you know? There is a lot of stuff that you have to, because there's a lot of projects that have, like, certain characters popping up, and you have to have those set up other things. So I get the bare idea of having Blade wait, but like, why would you announce it in 2019? Like, the way I would have done it is like, yeah, sure, Blade would probably not come out until 2028, but I would never announce it like 9 years in advance. Absolutely not. I would have private conversations. But it's just like, it's just ridiculous. Imagine if the pandemic never happened. I wonder what the MCU would have been. I don't know. I still think it would have been in some deep shit because they were still putting out way too many movies and shows per year. It was still too much. Like, let me look at what the original plans for MCU Phase 4. Let's take a look at this. Like, let's take a look at this. Like, yeah, Black Widow, Falcon Winter Soldier, and Eternals will have still come out in 2020. But again, look at all this. Like, you have Shang-Chi, Doctor Strange, and Thor: Love and Thunder coming out that year. Okay, 3 movies, that's not too bad. But then you have WandaVision, Loki, What If, actually, and Hawkeye all coming out. Like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 projects in 1 year. Again, it's just too much. The absolute maximum it should have been is like 4 projects per year. Regardless if it's like TV shows or movies, they should have at max it should have been 4. Because there's no way you can quality check all of that. Honora will return in Doomsday. No! Honora Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. No! Christian would love that. No! Second Damien team has Raven, Starfire, but the new Genesis version and Beast Boy and Jackson, aka Aqualad. Like I said, I just kind of want like the lineup that we all grew up watching. So yeah. What director would you like to see direct a Marvel movie? Well, I guess Christopher Nolan, because he's the best in the business, but I know for a fact he would not play by anyone else's rules. Someone was like suggesting Jordan Peele for an X-Men movie. That'd be interesting. Jordan Peele for X-Men would be pretty interesting. Or like, so maybe? I mean, we'll have to see, but I don't know. Interesting to think about. Although they do already have a director for X-Men, it's the guy who did Thunderbolts, I think. Either it's the director of Thunderbolts or the writer of Thunderbolts. It's one of those two. Do you think Disclosure Day will do well box office wise? I think it'll probably do all right. If the review, it really depends on how strong the reviews are. I think, because I don't know, if it gets like a 70% Rotten Tomatoes, I don't know. If it hovers around the 70s, it might not do that. Might not do that well at the box office, but I don't know. I get it, but to me it would just be lazy, and the casting would get backlash because people would just say cast the voice actors. Okay, I genuinely don't think people would be stupid enough to say, oh yeah, cast the voice actors in the roles for the Teen Titans. Look, audiences are stupid, but like, they can't be so stupid to where they actually go, yeah, these actors who are in their 50s, like, let's cast them as teenagers. Genuinely, there's no way they would be that stupid. But also lazy. What's lazy about it? If it works, it works. I mean, for me, that would be ideal. We haven't really seen the Teen Titans as we've seen them in the TV show properly portrayed in live action. I mean, they did it pretty well in Titans season 1, but then that just started falling. Like, that just started falling on its face pretty quickly with the other seasons. So it's like, eh. How many Oscar nominations could Disclosure Day get? I don't really know. I mean, right now I have Disclosure Day in for 4. 4 nominations, but I mean, I don't know. There's a lot that it could get nominated for. Who knows? Do you think Project Hail Mary could win Best Picture? I mean, sure. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't think it will. I don't think it's going to win Best Picture. It's probably going to be, like, I don't know. I feel like Project Hail Mary is either, like, I don't really see it winning a whole lot. Because right now, even in my predictions, I only have it winning Best Adapted Screenplay, but that's kind of a placeholder because I don't really think it's going to win Best Adapted Screenplay. I think Project Hail Mary is going to ultimately be like The Martian, where it gets a lot of nominations but doesn't really win anything. That's kind of my thoughts. I still do not think it's going to win visual effects. I don't think it's going to win Best Visual Effects. That is just Dune's to win. Like, Dune's going to win that. And even then, I feel like, depending on how well received Narnia is, I feel like Narnia would be more likely to win visual effects over Project Hail Mary. Because again, I could see a world where Project Hail Mary doesn't get nominated for Best Visual Effects. Because it's not like the showiest visual effects thing out there. Let's see what else there is. Flushed Away or Over the Hedge? Well, I've not seen Flushed Away. I've seen Over the Hedge once. I didn't really care for it that much. But so yeah, I guess I have to abstain from the question because I have not seen Flushed Away. I hope Michael will get a few guilds still. The costumes and makeup were very good, especially since they had to go through the progression from the 60s to 1987. I mean, maybe, but again, you know, I don't know. I mean, again, makeup, that's probably its best, makeup is probably its best chance right now. Because I don't know, like costumes, the costume designers branch will still nominate things that are like mainly like somewhat acclaimed. The makeup branch, though, they genuinely don't care. They will nominate anything for makeup and hairstyling as long as it has like big prosthetics. So critics aren't everyone. But here's the problem, Red Spice. Here's the big problem with that. There's a big issue there. If Michael were to get nominated for Best Picture, it would tie with The Robe from 1953 in being the 4th worst reviewed Best Picture nominee ever. It would be a Best Picture nominee unlike anything we've ever seen before, and I just can't. The odds are not great in its favor. I wonder how the actors will feel come SAG. I don't know. Again, I'm not saying a nomination isn't impossible for somewhere else, but I just don't think it's going to happen at the Oscars. Makeup is the only thing I think it has going for it. Maybe costumes if they're feeling very generous. But, like, really, other than that, it's like, it's not really looking to get anything else. The reviews are just way too bad. And yeah, critics aren't everyone, but also there's still somewhat of a correlation between critical reception and how audiences and Oscars treat movies. Like, again, this in the 98-year Academy history, this is about to be the 99th. This would be a rarity amongst films in how bad it's done. I see, but if anyone could do it, Michael could. But again, I don't know. I really don't know. Like, people thought, like, well, I mean, it's, Bruce Springsteen. He's going to get an Oscar nomination. Or that film's going to get an Oscar nomination. But it didn't because people didn't like the movie. And then there's Daniel Day-Lewis for Anemone. I was like, well, Daniel Day-Lewis is like the GOAT. Daniel Day-Lewis is the GOAT of actors. He's the greatest of all time. Surely he could still get into Best Lead Actor. Even with, despite, Anemone not doing well with critics. And he got no precursors. Not even BAFTA longlisted. No one cared. It's like the Michael Jackson biopic, it's like, I think it's just dead and buried. You just gotta, like... I saw a couple days ago that Don't Look Up was rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. Yes, but the reviews were nowhere near as bad as Michael's. Like, let me just look and see how bad the reviews. Like, this is how bad the reviews are for Michael. 38%. That's not great. But now let's look at Don't Look Up. Don't Look Up was significantly higher at 56%. So it's like, yeah, the reviews for Don't Look Up were not that great, but they were nowhere near as bad as Michael's. Like, Michael's were just terrible. Again, if Michael were to be nominated for Best Picture, it would be the 4th worst reviewed Best Picture nominee in history. And you have to go all the way back to the 60s to find a movie this badly reviewed that was nominated for Best Picture. It's like, I just don't think it's going to happen. It's just cope at this point. Any noms for Supergirl? Clayface could get makeup or special effects. I don't know about visual effects. I mean, it's not impossible, but I don't think so for Clayface. I am predicting Clayface for makeup right now, but for Supergirl, no. The fact that Superman couldn't even get in for visual effects is kind of crazy. So I'm just going to assume that they just don't like DC movies, and even then, I'm not really terribly confident that they'll nominate Clayface for makeup. So Hannah, if not Michael, will we have an Oscar So White again? I mean, I don't know. We don't really know exactly what's coming out, but again, I feel like the bigger issue isn't necessarily that they're not nominating, movies from black filmmakers or black actors in significant roles. I think the bigger issue is that not enough of them are being made to a level that's like acclaimed this year. I think that's the bigger issue, because it's like everyone's saying, you know, like, 'cause when you look at, you know, Oscars so white years, it's like who could have been nominated for best lead actress that was like a legitimate contender? Not really anyone, because there just weren't really any roles like that given to lead actresses of color that year. So it's like, I feel like it's more systemic than just the Oscars. I feel like a lot of it has to do with the fact that studios are just not making enough of these movies as like that are not only driven by people of color, but also, you know, starring people of color that have a lot of like that are legit awards contenders. Like the studios are not really making enough of those kind of movies. If it wasn't for the pandemic, Don't Look Up wouldn't have gotten in. We don't know that. We don't know that. What, you know, it's one of those, you know, coulda, woulda, shoulda things. It's like, well, we don't really know. We just don't live in that timeline. And the great ones from the 90s never got their flowers, like Eve's Bayou. That's what I'm saying. It's like studios have to invest more in these kind of films, in more of these like auteur driven awards films from you know, people of color. And then once you set that in motion, then the awards will happen. But like, if there's none really out there, like, you can't really Frankenstein it to happen, because then you're not really honoring what's the best. Do you watch Beef? I don't, actually. I've not really watched Beef. I don't really watch a ton of TV, to be honest. So it's like, yeah. Season 2 is really good. I've heard it's really good. I just don't really watch a lot of television. There are still too many TV shows I need to catch up on that I'm worried I will never be able to catch up on. So it's like the chances of me watching Beef are probably slim to none, because there's just too much to watch. Don't Look Up is excellent. I wouldn't say Don't Look Up is excellent. It's good, but it's like, I don't know. The mid-credit scene with the aliens really, like, that was like one of the worst scenes of the year that year for me. That was just insultingly stupid. How long are you streaming today? I don't know. I might end it here in a little bit. I do need to go to the store, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Dropped out of film school today. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Andrew. I'm sorry about that. You know, things didn't really pan out the way you wanted. I know that's not, you know, the greatest news, but yeah. If A24 and Neon Focus had rivals of Amziah King, do you think it would have been an awards contender? Yeah, I probably think so. Yeah. Wasn't Emilia Perez the worst reviewed Best Picture nominee on Letterboxd? I have no idea, but again, I don't know how much I trust that, because I don't know, people were acting like Emilia Perez was like the worst thing ever, but like it was just kind of mid. Like it felt like at a certain point there was a little bit of review bombing going on there, like people saying it was like, I remember like there's this one like fan voted awards show, no awards ceremony called the Golden Schmoes on Joe Blow, and they literally voted for like Emilia Perez as the worst movie of the year over Madam Web. It's like, I feel like people really blew Emilia Perez way too out of proportion. So I think that was a little bit of review bombing. Again, it's not a very good movie, but it's also just like, it wasn't like that like they're taking it a little bit too like blowing things. I think they were blowing things way too out of proportion. Emilia Perez is one of the worst movies I've ever watched. I disagree. I think there are good things in the movie that people are not really paying attention to. I feel like there are some good things in that movie. I was mixed on Emilia Perez, but still rated it a 6 out of 10. For me, 6 out of 10 for me isn't mixed. That's me thinking it's okay, which is like the lowest level of good. I was mixed on Emilia Perez, but I guess the way my rating system works, like it's, for me, mixed would be mid, and I put it in like a 5 out of 10. But yeah. Plus, I don't really care what the audience scores are, because audience scores, especially for something like an Emilia Perez, it's like those could be really those could be like really like review bombed and stuff. So it's like, I don't know how reliable that can be. Emilia Perez is a 6.7. 6.7. Do you think the Odyssey will do Oppenheimer numbers or far less? I think that's probably. I think the Odyssey is probably going to make more money than Oppenheimer, because it is a big like fantasy action film, and like I feel like Christopher Nolan has like only kind of gotten stronger as a director and being able to pull audiences in. So I think it's going to make more money. I get vibes that it's not going to be as big. I'm thinking maybe Interstellar. I don't know. Didn't you say you already didn't really care for, didn't you say you already didn't really care for Oppenheimer that much? So it's like, I don't know. Like, I really do feel like if Oppenheimer can make nearly $1 billion, if Oppenheimer can make nearly $1 billion, then I feel like, you know, like the Odyssey's going to clear past that, I think. Is it 3 hours? From my understanding, no, it's not going to be 3 hours. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be 3 hours. It did, but it was pulled up by Barbie. But let's face it, it still wouldn't have made the money that it did if it wasn't like, considered one of the best films of the year. Like, Oppenheimer still probably would have made like $900 million. So it's like, I mean, yeah, the Barbenheimer thing kind of helped it, but again, the fact that the movie was as good as it was, and many people were saying it was one of Christopher Nolan's best films, it's like, it would have made, like, probably at least nearly that amount regardless. I'm ready to see the Cyclops in the Odyssey. I hope he doesn't look bad. Again, I know Christopher Nolan likes his practical effects, but I really, really hope he doesn't over rely on practical effects to where they look really goofy and silly. My favorite Nolan films have been more of his intimate ones like Memento, The Prestige, and Insomnia. I think those are great too, but I really also love what he does with his blockbusters. Like, I really do love... I really do love... like Dunkirk and Interstellar and Oppenheimer and The Dark Knight, in my opinion, is one of the greatest films ever made. But I guess he's all spectacle these days. I mean, look, he's not just doing a lot of IP stuff. Like, granted, yeah, the Odyssey is based on an old story, but it's like he's making the kinds of movies that people don't really get made anymore. Like, he's making the kinds of movies that don't really get made that much anymore. Not to that kind of scale. So it's like, he is, I feel like you have to admire what he's doing. I remember reading the Odyssey during the freshman year of high school. Yeah, I never read the Odyssey. I never read it, so that's why I have a lot of questions about it. Has he talked about what he's doing after this one? No, he has not. He has not. So we're probably not going to know for a while now. We're probably not going to know for a while. Did you ever go on the Golden Yacht? Yes, I did. And Jack Film and Justin but Lag, they couldn't stop me. Like they looked somewhat happy to see me, I think. But yeah, I was on the Golden Yacht, and it was a lot of fun. What can I say? I love being on the Golden Yacht, boys. What are your favorite video games? I gotta say, what are some of my favorite video games? The Zoo Tycoon games, really love those. Obviously GTA, just a number of them are really, really fun. Let's see. Yeah, the Jurassic World Evolution games, really love those. I really want to play Prehistoric Kingdom, and the sad thing is I have Prehistoric Kingdom, but my computer just can't run it for shit, and I'm so sad because I really, really, really want to play it, but I need a better operating system than this. I need something that's more up to date. I'm sad. I'm sad, and I'm gonna cry. But yeah, I just the games I especially love are the games where I can have like a prehistoric animal zoo. I always think that's a lot of fun. Have you played Ark? I've played a little bit of it, but I feel like that's a game that would be fun. That'd be more fun if I played with other people. So I kind of want to... I do want to try that out. But again, I'm not sure if my computer will be able to run it that well. We'll have to see. I'd have to see about that. But, like, I would like to play it. But I just don't know if I have any friends that would be willing to play Ark, you know? That's kind of a prehistoric zoo. Yeah, again, like... I especially love that they'll just kind of, like, dig deep for, like, some prehistoric creatures, especially ones that people have just not really heard that much about. That looks like a lot of fun. Ooh, I also want to try to see if I could play Bendy and the Ink Machine, but I don't know if that would work well on stream or not. I don't know. Maybe I could try that. Maybe. I don't know. I'd have to see. I'd have to see how that would work out. Because again, I would like to play Bendy and the Ink Machine. Obviously, I've seen like the gameplay of that. I have, but I don't know. I don't know how well it would run on my computer, I guess is what I'm trying to say. A lot of the games that I really want to play, like, you know, the one, like, you know, like Gmod or whatever, those are, I want to play Phasmophobia, but again, I don't have it, but again, I could theoretically buy it, but I don't really have anyone to play it with, so that is just kind of like one of those things. So, yeah. That's fair. I'm playing the new Borderlands and it drops like 20 FPS. Ugh. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, that's just a nightmare for me. I just can't when it's too glitchy. I just cannot when it's just too glitchy. But yeah, I think, unless anyone has any final thoughts, I might call it for today, for the stream. We did hit the membership goal. We didn't really hit the super chat goal, but that's fine. Yeah, that should be fine. But does anybody have any final thoughts before we maybe head out? Oh my God. Thank you so much, Julian Sebrio, for the $2 donation. That does count as a super chat for me. So thank you so much for the little donation super chat thing. Everyone, give Julian Sebrio some blue Hannahcast heart emojis if you're a channel member. Thanks, Julian. Thanks, Julian. Thanks. But yeah, thank you so much. Where do you think Endgame was ranked for Best Picture? Well, considering its only nomination was for visual effects, I think it was not really considered that much. I don't think it was really that close to Best Picture at all, to be honest. I'm surprised Critics' Choice didn't nominate Endgame for Best Picture. In the grand scheme of things, I'm not that surprised. Again, I guess it just wasn't quite there. Again, I feel like we're just not really gonna get like Marvel movies nominated for Best Picture, unless it's like the first Black Panther. Like the first Black Panther might be the only one that we get nominated for Best Picture, which again is I am kind of wondering how DC's gonna fare, because I feel like DC might be in a better path to success than Marvel, because I could see a world. I'm not going to predict it. I'm not going to, but I could see Clayface really working out at the end. I could maybe see a world where Clayface gets into Best Picture, maybe. But again, we'll have to see. It's just because I feel like DC's going to be doing a lot of these movies that are of such different tones that, like, at some point, one of them is going to get nominated for Best Picture, and then we'll have Best Picture, like then we'll have Oscar nominee James Gunn, or even like an animated film. I could see like an animated film getting nominated for Best Animated Feature from DC, perhaps, maybe. Take it easy, good sir. Well, you take it easy too, as well, Julian. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to put out a couple of videos this upcoming week, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, everyone, let me know in the comment. But yeah, I actually no, I didn't even ask a question, but still, thank you guys for joining the stream, and thank you guys for helping us hit the membership goal. So yeah, everyone. Bye, everyone. Bye.